you in the upper right-hand corner, will it say stream to your channel? You might have had to do it before we said go live. We're live now.
Okay, let's go.
I had to go live. All right, y'all. So we are live with Chris over at the Financial Prepper. And we wanted to, this article came in my email and it had some very suspect language in it. And I thought it was very interesting. And so I wanted to kind of review this with Chris, kind of get his thoughts and feedback on it. How you doing, Chris?
Good, man. How are you guys doing? Hey, everybody. Good to be here. It's
how's everything over there in Louisiana?
It is cold here.
Yeah,
cold. A rocket heater. I'm sorry. It's making a little noise. We're burning some fossil fuels and making some carbon over there.
Oh, yeah.
Got to be warm in here, man. But yeah, we're good. Good. Glad to be here.
Y'all should see his rocket stove. This thing is awesome.
It's quite impressive.
It's like if you
stay to the end of the live stream, I'll take you over there and show it to you.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Here we go.
There's your teaser. Stay to the end. It's like if you took a rocket scientist and you mix them with little backwoods, you know, and then you get Chris's like.
And then he was good at welding too.
Rocket stove, man.
There you go.
Killer.
Yeah, it heats 50 by 100 shop. That's the important thing.
Sweet.
That is. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. It looked like Chernobyl the other night. I let it go a little too much.
Had a little glow.
It was nutty. It's kind of dangerous.
So this article, the title of the article is "The Debt Problem is Enormous. Experts say the system for fixing it is broken." And basically, to summarize the article, they're lamenting the formation of IMF and World Bank. And they're basically saying, you know, this is like an old world system to fix new world problems. And, you know, me and Chris were talking before the live stream about some of the code language here and when they start talking about austerity and different things. So I thought it would make for a very interesting conversation.
That's a word that people are going to have to get familiar with. And the steps that governments have taken in the past are some of the same that they're going to take in the future as, you know, things decay. You know, the stock market, I've been dabbling in it, doing my day trading and swing trading, and it is completely divorced from reality. It makes absolutely no sense. It's a lot like what happened in other countries as they were blowing up their currency and, you know, stimulating the stock market, stimulating growth that isn't there. So, yeah, I would definitely like to talk about austerity, but I'll let you get through the article a little bit.
Okay, so the article opens, Martin Guzman was a college freshman in La Universidad Nacional de La Plata, Argentina, 2001, when a debt crisis prompted default, riots, and a devastating depression. A dazed middle class suffered ruin as the IMF insisted that the government make misery-inducing budget cuts in exchange for a bailout. Now, what's hilarious is IMF and World Bank, they're here for these impoverished countries to enrich them. It's a cloak and a veil to basically extract resources. And so they go into these impoverished, they lend them a bunch of money. It's usually under some kind of crony regime that stuffs their pockets, bankrupts the countries. And then IMF and World Bank come back in and they say, oh, well, now listen, if you cut back, now a third world country, when you tell a third world country to be austere, it's rather humorous and hilarious. But they are setting the table so that first world countries get used to the jargon and the language, and coming soon to a theater near you.
Well, I've got so much stuff printed out, man. Yesterday video, and I go down rabbit holes because, you know, what happens when this happens? What is the actual thing to do after this video? You know, you watch a lot of news and a lot of people just jack their jaw. And it's like they don't ever give solutions and I'm not here to say we're going to give a solution to any of this stuff. But what is actually going to happen because of this? These actions, right? These behavioral things that governments do over and over, it's never ends. It just, it repeats every 100 years or so. Yeah. And the people that come from places like that don't want to go back. We talk to a lot of people, and they, any people that can remember it or were around it know about what's fixing to happen.
What's very interesting is you've moved to a rural location with some dirt, and you're doing things. We've moved to a rural location with some dirt and are doing some things. You recently procured some more dirt. We recently procured some more dirt. So my point is as we examine reality, as we examine the propaganda and what they want to project, this should be influencing us and our daily decisions, and maybe what some of our goals are. Maybe we need to recalibrate. Maybe we need to adjust. At one point in time, when I was a financial planner and driving the fancy brand new sports car and all that stuff, I had $1 million dreams and all these things, right? And today, even though I have a substantial net worth, today, none of those things even matter. And I think that's why these discussions are so important, because now I'm 47. Chris, I think, is my age or a little bit younger.
I'm 25.
25.
Wow.
Look at her. He looks beautiful.
40.
40. Oh, yeah.
Look
Chris
old,
is young.
Can't help
Chris is a young.
I grew my beard out. Look like Father Time.
Bud's giving you a hard time, Chris. He said 62. Take it easy, Bud.
Yeah.
Leave it up to Bud.
Elmer Fudd. That's what they call him in the comments. Ask him about that. That was pretty good, Bud.
But there's some people watching this maybe in their 20s. There's people watching this that maybe just recently moved out of their home. Maybe they live with their parents or whatever, and now it's time for them to start evaluating life, setting goals and different things. And this can be so influential as far as setting their sail and basically shifting the paradigm of the go to school to get a good education, to get a good job, to invest in your 401k and retire when you're 62 and a half, and don't forget to, overfund your Roth IRA and all these different things. I think that's the most important part about pointing out these inconsistencies, pointing out the propaganda parts of it that they want us to eat, and then adjusting our personal lives to be not just the solution, but the counterculture to what they're trying to foist on us.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of broad. You're right. Whatever they're trying to do, everything. And when we say there's some people in the comments like, who's they? We're talking about the few that want you to eat bugs and own nothing. We're talking about some people call them elite. I hate calling them elite, but I like to call them the few, because there's not that many, and it's WS spelled backwards. That'll be a word that people like me won't be able to say one day on the YouTube. I've already been through re-education camp. I know the things not to say, and I'm going to be good because I'm not a happy camper. But this is all part of it. This has happened over and over, and nothing new. But what we have to look forward to, that's the thing. What is it? What is it exactly going to happen when this thing happens? When, these governments keep making wrong decisions. And what happened over there could definitely be a contagion, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has happened over and over. Zimbabwe, it happened. Argentina, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. And what happened there was they started introducing austerity measures. And when I saw that, I thought, what exactly is that? What is the austerity measures that governments take.
Hmm.
Because it's been done before.
Governments never stop spending money. Why isn't that in the austerity
Well, they're
measure?
not going to be in austerity. They're not, they're not going to do that. But it's to address unsustainable debt levels when governments get in this situation. They might be forced to implement programs and increasing taxes while austerity aims to restore fiscal stability. So one of the things they did, and was the first one I underlined, was pension reforms.
The money.
Does that scare anybody?
You
Anybody
mean like
here
my
relying on their pension? Huh?
Remember my IRA? Remember when Obama was threatening to take the IRAs and they called it the My IRA?
My IRA? No. No, I don't. I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, enough people talked about it and made us think about it. It stopped it for now.
Oh, okay. So I guess that would be a reform. These reforms aim to reduce financial burden, blah, blah, blah. Another thing is they increase taxes. Doesn't that sound fun?
Great.
We're already in austerity. We're already feeling it, but they're going to put these measures in to help them. Privatization of state-owned assets. Those people that own things that I know a couple of buddies of mine bought a huge RV park that's owned by the state, and that would be something they could do, right? Several different things. I'm saying that'll happen. It's unlikely. Structural reforms. I thought that was a good one. Governments may implement structural reforms to improve efficiency and competitiveness of the economy. So we're talking about some words I'm reading of some situations where some things they had to deal with when they started this austerity program. I'd never even heard of that. Have you? No. Austerity measures. So I just thought, that'd be worth mentioning because they've done it before. They'll probably do something like that again. And the pension, meddling with people's livelihood when they're barely making it with inflation is a bad deal.
Well, and that's what I thought was funny about the article, because it opens discussing Argentina's debt crisis in 2001. Okay. Now, the last time I did math, it's only 2023. So we're talking 20 years later, just 2 decades, much less than most people's lifetime. So however you want to factor that, a quarter of a lifetime, they were so great at solving the debt crisis in 2001. Now it's 2024 and we have an even bigger debt crisis. This is what's kind of hilarious about the inmates that are running the asylum is the people that are supposedly it's like the plunge protection team. You know what I mean? It's like, it's newspeak. It's like everything that they say they're doing is they're doing literally the opposite of, we're here to help you. We're here to extract all the wealth of this country and leave you with ashes.
I was actually playing with the stock market today. I sit down and make trades every day. It's something I do. And I often wonder every day, I wonder what the plunge protection team's having a meeting on today. I wonder exactly, how that works. Because it has been going on since the 80s. The plunge protection team, nobody likes to talk about them. You can't find anything on them. But they're alive and well. It's obvious. I was watching the S&P 500 today, and it's at the very tippy top of where it was back in 22. Way up there. It's like, man, how long can this go on? It's consolidating a little bit right at the tip. It's like, man, it looks like it could go the other way and be like, let's say a war broke out or something.
Right.
Or one of these black swans that these news anchors are promising.
That's so tinfoily hatty Black Swan event. Like now they're projecting it.
Yeah, all of a sudden something bad's gonna happen in 2024. I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, wow. Are you a prepper? I kind of feel that way too. I can't tell you with that certainty. You know, I seem to be early on everything.
Which is a blessing. I like being early.
Yeah, it's way better than being late.
That's right.
Yeah. So, timing, though, you know, you can do things at the wrong time when it happens, and you have to make those decisions quick. That's kind of a wrong time. You know, if you wake up to all the what's going on, a lot of people are just waking up. A lot of people are like, "Whoa, this is really happening." It's like, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
We're not making this up. And they, you know, get kind of not freaked out, but well, maybe some of them, but they do too much too fast and buy a bunch of gold and silver and way over what they should have, and then the price goes down. Stuff like that, or you know, buy a bunch of stuff that you might not need because you're just not prepping. You know, just kind of take it easy. It's, you know, we're early. It might be a year or 2 or 3, but it doesn't matter. You know, the time to start prepping was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the best right now, actually.
Yeah, and that's why it's beautiful to talk about this, to change people's mindset so that they can start changing. You know, it's like driving an ocean liner. You know, your life really is an ocean liner. You can't jerk the wheel that quick, you know. And when it comes to geographical location of like where you want to spend the rest of your life, you know, how much dirt you have, the demographics, and these things shift and change too. And that, you know, that's what's really good to, because here's the reality of it. Most people are so busy just trying to make a buck to pay their bills. Most of the time they don't even stop to even write down their goals. Like how many people January 1st are going to write down their goals for 2024? Maybe the stats say 3%. And of the 3% that write them down, I believe statistically 70% of those written goals will be achieved in 2024. And it's such a simple thing to do.
And like you were saying with an ocean liner, you know, you always have to be looking ahead, you know, miles ahead, you know, what's coming up, you know, so then you can make that small adjustment or big adjustment to your direction so you don't run aground, you know.
And I see these conversations as like the GPS map of the deep spots of the channel, you know, so like some people that have been there and done that, and listening to maybe even some older folks that have been there and done that and seen these different cycles. And that's that GPS for the ocean liner. Like, well, you know, the 24-year-old me thinks I should go north, but if I look at the GPS, it's saying that if I go west, I'll be able to go north in about 3 miles, kind of a thing. And this way we can calibrate and recalibrate and dollar cost average. You know, I talk about food 401k, you talk about tool 401k. And if you're into metals or even in the market, everything can't really be done at once. You know, it all should be done systematically.
You talked about a ship turning. I was fortunate enough to drive a really big boat when I was younger, and the captain just let me drive it, and I drove it for a few hours, and it was amazing. That is the best explanation, because when you turn it, you have to literally wait. You can't tell anything happened. And that's exactly the way it is with everything. With our goals. You mentioned goals and how important it is to write them down. And I'd like to encourage everybody, if you sit down with a pen and paper and start writing, if you're like me, you're not going to think of everything, right? Take a little notepad. Actually this is my personal notepad. This is a cool trick, guys. Field notes. Take a notepad with you It's got graph paper. If you're into, I don't know where my camera is. It's so weird. You can do your drawings. You can write down your goals as you're going. Because if you just try to sit down and think of some things you're going to do, they might change. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yep.
So as you're going and you're thinking about what you'd like to do, write down something about that subject that would help you. So one thing. It's like take just one little thing you do every day towards that goal. It could be as simple as, I'm going to buy a chalkboard. Well, I bought a piece of chalk first. Or I want to weld, so I bought a welding hood. I'm going to need it. So I do every project I've ever done. And when it comes to goals, it is really important to write them down. Because if you write them down one time, you wrote them down once. And it was just one. It was one. And then later on, you can fabricate more on that one goal that you want to do. Because it's not, I'm very familiar with goals, and it works. If you write them down, it works.
Yep. Yeah. And if we just had this conversation to give that one little tip, and it's right here at the burgeoning of 2024.
Yeah.
And if one person in the feed takes that tip and puts it into action, as with all the crazy stuff going on and all of the news and all the stuff we would rather not hear about or talk about, you implement that one strategy, it could literally completely change your life,
literally
your direction. Matt's learned a lot about writing down goals and achieving goals.
Yep. I'm going to be writing down my goals for 2024 and then looking back at 2023, the goals that I set for 2023.
Keep a book with you. Try that.
That's a good tip.
It's different than your phone. It's different because
getting them down on paper.
When I'm doing on my phone, I'm having YouTube and all notifications,
nudges,
emails. And this is just me and a piece of paper. It's really, because I'm 25.
So hip.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, what else? Did you want me to go on and on about how
if you want to do
Bob way and austerity and all that? Because there's a lot to say about it, but maybe it's in a year. We just know we're already starting to see people's individual debt, like not just government's debt. The people around us that can't afford their lifestyle that somehow keep it going. And I'm not getting down on anybody, but if you could try to rein, it's always easier to rein things back on your own and not have it. Because when you go broke, you don't get to decide what to sell.
That's right.
That's what a lot of people don't understand.
This is that ocean liner analogy, right?
Yep.
So you might have the Mark V budget right now, right? And but if you would dial that back now, it's not going to hurt until when somebody's forced to dial it back for you. That's when it hurts, and that's when you lose assets. Yep. And that's when you're damaged versus if you proactively calibrate now, you could become much more nimble.
People with investment properties that are doing okay right now, one little hiccup might hurt you. That's where I was in my properties. I mean, we were good in them. We made money every month and it was fine. But if 2.5 rents didn't come in, I was in the red. So, if you feel like the neighborhood's going down, or you've got a vacation home that doesn't get used that much, it's more of a liability than an asset, 100% liability probably. Maybe think about it, selling now and buying back at lower prices.
Sure.
That's it's something I've done, but was I early? I don't know. Maybe. We sold them about 1.5 years ago.
Maybe. When you're not when it dumps, you're not going to be able to time it.
Yep.
The dump is going to be cataclysmic, and that's what we're waiting for too.
It's the whole shoulda, woulda, coulda.
We're going to buy. We have our cash, in where we think is best, and but yet the dump is for the sake of 10%, man. You don't want to lose 50 or 80%. So, that's why you make your educated decisions. And, I didn't get every last penny. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
Oh man, I'm such a hog.
We all, it's easy.
Man, I'm a greedy person. I don't know. I just can't seem to sell something when it's going up. It's so hard. I've been practicing it every day. I practice it every day. It's because it's weird. I'm greedy. Can't help it. But I plan on learning those lessons. Well, I've already learned the lessons about being greedy with crypto and every other thing. When it went up, I sold some, but why not sell all of it? Why not have a big, stash to get ready for the Thunderdome? I think there's going to be some real deals in the Thunderdome, and it might be at higher interest rates, but the deals are going to be so good. You got to make them cash flow. So it's going to be really good.
I think there can only be incredible deals. I think there's going to be incredible real estate deals. I think there's going to be incredible hard asset deals with equipment and different things, you know. And, it's sad when somebody has to liquidate something at a deep discount, but you'll be able to help these people, as much as it's going to suck when they got to sell their backhoe for $2,500. If you're the guy with the $2,500, man, you're a superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can get the $25,000 backhoe for $2,500, and it's going to happen. It's sheer numbers. It's basic numbers. When you look at these truck prices and what dealerships are doing now,
it's crazy.
And what's happening with inventory.
Because it's insanity around here anyway. There was a shortage in the beginning of the year and last year. So then they overbought this year. And now all of the trucks and cars and ATVs and UTVs are all coming in, and now they're just sitting there. And even the tiny houses, they overbought.
Yes.
A lot of people overbought this year. They're just sitting there, and they're paying for them. Dealerships and the people there owning the sheds, they're paying for them every month, and it's killing them, And eventually, that price is going to have to drop. Eventually. Something's going to drop. Something has to give, So
I don't really dig the tiny stuff, tiny house, the simple lifestyle where you don't really have much. And you familiar with that?
Yeah. Yep. That minimalist stuff.
The minimalist. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a scam, I think.
Yeah. I can see how it's
in certain ways.
Yeah. Think about it.
Definitely.
Who wants to have nothing? Who wants to just kind of, that's what they want. They want you to just exist and not use much resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that.
And Edwards has a 2024 goal to buy Chris, Matt, and TD barbecue. So I want to make
Mr.
goal a reality.
Let's do it.
So let's do
Mr.
that.
Eddie's awesome. I believe Mr. Eddie gave silver on our channel. He gave the community quite a bit. I don't remember how much, but he's a good guy. Thanks, man. I would love that. I'd love for you to buy me lunch. That'd be awesome.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Make it happen.
That'd be great. I'll say the one thing, the upside to tiny living, because I personally live in a tiny house, is that, and I am eventually going to build a big house because I like big houses, but not like crazy big, but like 2,000 square foot or so. But you can clean the place up in like 5 minutes. That is nice,
Yeah, when you're a teenager, that's important.
You clean it up real quick, boom, done.
Well, I'm not opposed to the tiny house thing. I've always I lived in a big house before, but I live in a small house now. That's what I choose to do. That's it's the whole minimalist lifestyle thing. You don't.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really for. It's just more to heat, more to cool, more to clean. Now shops can't go big enough on the shop.
No,
Yep,
that is
that's
so true.
so
I've
true.
learned that.
We built a 20 by 40 woodworking shop and a carpentry shop, and it's great. But you know,
not big
you're
enough.
always like, man, if it could only be like twice this size, what could we really do? You know,
That's so
but you
true.
know, that's shops for you, you know. And my neighbor, they just moved in, and they're going to be putting in. He wants to put in some like
50 by 90?
50 by 90 or 50 by 100
100,
or
yeah.
90 by 100. I forget.
Something crazy. It was huge.
Crazy big.
It's like, check you out.
Yeah.
dude.
Because how big's your shop? 50 by 100?
Yeah. Well, this one is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a big.
There's about to be another one built on the new property.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, wow.
I'm tooling up for the Thunderdome. I'm going to
Nice.
have everything I need to build whatever I want.
Cool.
Machines,
Awesome.
plasma tables, milling
Wow.
machines, lathes. The next thing is going to be a spray arc rig or a metallizing. You familiar with that?
No, what's that?
We'll be able to build shafts up and then turn it back down to new. You could restore. You know, you can take a worn out shaft and actually spray metal all over it and then turn it down to its original form.
Wow.
So my thought is the equipment we're using now is going to continue to be more expensive to work on.
Mhm.
Parts are going to be harder to get. Think
Yep.
about it.
Yep.
That already is getting kind of strange. I'm not saying anything's hard to get, but that's the tool 401k. Those things will make me money for the rest of my life.
Yep.
And
Yep.
if I choose, you know, I don't do much money making with a lathe. We do a lot of welding, but when you need it, there's really nothing else that'll do it. You know.
Yeah.
So
Very
the tool
true.
401k is really good. Tool up. Wrote that down when you were talking. That was something that I'm doing that I think everybody should probably do to get ready for higher prices
Yep.
and really people needing to be able to fix something. You really need to be able to work on your own stuff. If you don't have a welding machine to fix little simple projects, you need to get on that pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yep.
You don't have
The
to
other
go
thing
work.
about buying hard assets is your money's just becoming worth less. So if you have something real, at least it has value. I mean, it has real value.
Yeah, we got us a little welder, and dude, it opens up a whole world of solutions to stuff because you're like, oh wait, that metal object or whatever thing broke. Dude, I can just weld it up, you know? It's just so great.
That's my next video. Prepper, what preppers need for as far as tools to be able to fix normal things that you should be fixing. It's not hard. Literally, I've got El Cheapo machines.
Money doing it too.
300 and holy crap, it's Taylor Welding. I do have another channel. It's called Taylor Welding. Thank you, Spark. You'll be looking forward to this video then because you can get this machine for like $399. Yes, it's from China, but it will weld anything you need. Plasma cutter. Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be good,
dude.
Wow.
You've
sold us already, Chris.
I know.
Do what?
You've sold us already. You're probably going to buy one.
Oh yeah, the plasma cutter is awesome. It's crazy. It's like I didn't realize the cheaper Chinese tools have come this far. They've stolen so much from Lincoln and Miller, and they've taken the technology and created it really close for us. Cheap. Consumables are different. You have to watch my videos on what I do on because I tell the truth.
Sure.
Some of the stuff that should really be better is small stuff, and it wouldn't take much. I'm talking just to spend 25 more cents on the nozzle. You know, it's really, really simple stuff that they could have fixed. But anyway, look forward to that.
Sparky didn't know you had a prepping channel, so now you got a new sub.
Oh, thanks, Sparky.
Awesome,
huh? I appreciate that. Yes, financial prepper. My wife sells precious metals for Miles Franklin. You need to know that because we do do our best to get the cheapest prices, but always go 3 places first. Go somewhere else. Try to find it at your local coin store first, and then give us a shot. because that's a really good prep too, man. You know, finances. Yeah. If you're broke, you can't help anybody. Face it.
Right.
That's true.
That's the truth. You're not gonna grow enough food for them, not in your backyard.
Yeah.
Money's gonna help, right?
Tool.
Community's probably the number one, though.
Yeah,
that's probably the
community.
There's nobody's lone wolfing it through this.
No,
you know?
Yeah,
absolutely not.
That's what's cool about the different meetups. I think y'all got to meet up in October.
October 8th and 9th. That's going to be in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And as far as I know, it's called the Financial Prepping Conference. I'm going to be emceeing. There's word that Ted Nugent's going to be there.
No way.
I heard the Texas boys are going to be there. That's a rumor.
Good deal. Texas boys are going to be there. Jesse, the Shielded Prepper, is going to be there. Nice. The Side Hustle Survivalist is going to be there. I'm going to try to get Jack to come. Nobody Special Finance. It should be, Dan allegedly supposed to be there. We're not sure. That's it's supposed to be a for sure, but we'll see. I haven't heard anything else lately, so it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. We're going to skin a deer.
Oh,
no pressure on me or anything, but we'll go down a day or two early and try to shoot one with a bow. So we're going to do a class on that, a workshop on that. We're going to do a workshop on welding, how to weld and retire at 40. Mm-hmm. That kind of that's what I want to teach. Maybe I'll bring a welding machine with me, have a little welding class. I don't know. Nothing's really set yet, but it's going to be really fun.
Well, we'll make sure that they have barbecue there, so that way because Ed said he's going to be there. So if they have barbecue, Ed can buy us barbecue, and we will fulfill one of his goals for 2024. Boom. That's how we do it. Just like that.
Man, I wish my chat was working. I could see these.
We'll just have to pop them up on the screen for you.
Cool, Mr. Eddie. I'll be looking forward to seeing you, man. It's gonna be. You're gonna meet guys. If you make it, if you're listening to this live stream, you're gonna meet the coolest people. I'm telling you.
Every time.
It's like you're going to meet hundreds of new friends. It's the cool. I'm telling you the truth because they're like-minded. And you know how far you have to go to find a like-minded person? You're not going to find them at the fair or the movies or, when you meet these people, you're going to be like, wow, you're just like I am. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So,
you're going to talk and you're like, well, I'm 3 hours that way. I'm only 2 hours that way. And you're going to find out you're within 5 hours of each other. Yeah. And anymore in modern America, that's a hop.
Everywhere that we've went to these festivals, even as far as North Carolina, 15 hours away, you go there and you meet we met a couple dozen people there, and it wasn't a really big event, and we're like, wow, there's even all the way over here, there's like-minded people, that think the same, and they all have the same passions and wants and desires, of homesteading and prepping and being prepared and everything like that. And it just it's a good feeling.
As they set this up, I'm in contact with Side Hustle Survivalists with Bud, and we'll be posting all of the specifics on the conference in October. So we should be having specifics. I don't know if Bud's on right now, but we should be having specifics soon. I know they're setting up the website and everything.
Okay, sweet.
So as soon as we have specifics, we'll make sure y'all get it. We'll announce it and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, that's October 8th and 9th. That's all we know for sure. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's awesome. In Oklahoma at, what is the name?
Red Rock State Park?
Red Rock. Red Rock.
Yep, okay. They have this awesome amphitheater there. I was telling somebody about it, and they're like, that's where that amphitheater is. I was like, dang, I guess I didn't know it was like that big a deal, but apparently it is. Yeah. So if you put in Red Rock Amphitheater, that's where it's going to be, y'all.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So you guys ready to see the rocket stove?
Yeah, okay.
Let's do it.
For those of you that waited, you are going to be sweetly rewarded.
All right, before we go over there, here's the deal. This is a jet stove, rocket stove, whatever, that I built a long time ago, and I heat my whole shop with it. It eats pellets and used motor oil. It will glow red if you want it to. And it's built out of a propane tank. 100-pound, 100-pound propane tank.
And how many UN treaties are you breaking by building this pellet stove?
There's no law against burning pellets. I'm not sure about that. But, oh man, it went off. It ran out of pellets. That's a letdown. I knew it got cold in here, but here's how it goes. The pellets go in there.
Old pellets.
They travel down here. They hit your little grate. It's glowing in there. And they filter through, and then it goes to your Nancy Pelosi perfume here, and it drips down on a plate, and it gasifies. When the fumes come up here, it has to come back down. So the jet stove comes in here, comes up to the top. It's a piece of 6-inch, and then it has to come back down the pipe. So when everything's just right, it's really when it's getting too much fuel and it's not burning efficiently, it'll start gasifying in there. Boom, 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 boom. That's how you know, okay, it's getting a little carried away. You're getting some double action there. But
well, that's so great that you can do used motor oil, because I always wondered, like, what am I going to do with all this used motor oil? You know, when you do your oil changes and stuff like that, just burn it.
There's no law against it in Louisiana to burn used motor oil. I looked it up. I was wanting to do a video on it, but I don't know. I don't know what the green windies would think. But it burns so clean, man. It burns. You can't see any smoke. Zero. Awesome. You can see heat blowing out of it like a,
like a train.
Right. Again. But there shall be some welding plans on the stove. I can cut the parts and send them out. Maybe, that's the next project. It'd be a cool prepper rocket stove. Sure. Heat your whole house. I'd really like to make a window unit. That'd be pretty cool. That wasn't my idea. Somebody else came up with that idea. But it would be easy to do. Not sure how safe it would be. I know it would work, but it's not
OSHA approved.
You can be free or you can be safe, Chris. Right?
Yes, so. Okay. Well, you can't have both.
Nope. Not from a governmental standpoint.
Yeah, just trade one for the other usually, right?
May your chains rest lightly upon you,
as Billy would say. Yep.
Well, I'm fixing to go to work, guys. I got a little more to do.
As always, man. This was great. Thanks for coming on, Chris. Always appreciate your insight. We appreciate your channel.
Yep.
Guys, thank you for being here in the live stream. For everybody that's here, it's always a pleasure to come on with you guys. You're salt of the earth people, and thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll catch up with you soon.
All right, man. Later.
All right.
See y'all.
All right. See y'all later. Bye-bye.